So carrying a basic set of tools and spares will help you get back on the road without needing to abandon your ride. Okay, the first thing seems obvious, but you want to carry yourself at least 2 inner tubes. If you're going on a very long solo ride, I'll tend to carry 3. The thinking behind that is if I get a puncture early on in the ride, I've still got 2 tubes to get me through to the end of the ride. What I'll also do is change inner tubes from the standard cheap inner tubes that come with wheels and all bikes generally. I'll put a quality pair of Michelin tubes in, which seems to last a bit longer than some of the standard tubes that come with bikes. If I puncture once on a ride, I'll generally put that down to bad luck. You can usually see what the cause of the puncture is. If punctures become more common than that, I'll generally just change the tyres. Usually it's a sign that the tyres are giving up and it's there towards the end of their life. So if you start getting punctures more regularly, look at changing your tyres, and also check your rim tapes in the wheels as well to make sure there's no issues there. Next thing, you need to look at how you're going to get your tyres pumped up if you had to change a tube. So either carry a pump with you, or in this case, a couple of CO2 cartridges like this. Now, a 16-gram CO2 canister will inflate a standard size tyre up to about 100 psi, which is more than adequate pressure, and it'll do that in a matter of seconds. Or you can use a mini pump or a frame pump that you can carry with you, which will take a little bit longer. Now, make sure you carry enough the same number of cartridges as you carry inner tubes with you, in case you do get more than one puncture when you're out. Next thing to carry is a pair of tyre levers. Now, as you saw last week, some tyres come on and off the rims relatively easily, so you wouldn't need to carry tyre levers with you. Other tyres can be a slightly tighter, snugger fit. So if that is the case with your tyres, or if you've got tubeless tyres that are very tight, carry a set of tyre levers with you. And these tyre levers also have a spoke key at the end, so they're quite a useful thing to carry on the bike. Next thing to carry in your little spares box is a multi-tool. So as you can see here, there's lots of different size Allen keys tucked up inside there. And just make sure that the multi-tool that you get has got Allen keys that fit all of the major Allen key bolts on the bike. So things like the seat post, handlebar and stem, bottle cage bolts, all that kind of thing. Just make sure that the multi-tool has Allen keys that cover those. And generally nowadays they'll come with a chain tool as well. So even if you don't know how to use a chain tool, having one as part of your multi-tool, if you do have a problem with your chain, the chances are someone either riding with you or someone passing will know how the chain tool can be operated, or if push comes to shove, you can learn on the spot and get yourself out of a sticky situation there. If you're going to be carrying a multi-tool with the chain tool on it, it's wise to carry a couple of quick links, which are links that you can fix a chain with without having to use the Shimano chain bolt or anything like that. So look at getting a quick link to carry in your spares bag as well. And the last thing to carry in there is, well, this is just a scrap of old tyre. So this is a tyre patch. So if you split or cut your tyre open where the inner tube ends up poking out and puncturing that way, what you'll need to do there is to patch the tyre. And because of the high pressures that go into the tyres, it needs to be something substantial that's going to plug that gap. So I use a patch of old tyre like this. You can get specific tyre boots which do the same job. If you don't have something like this and you do get a problem with the tyre splitting, or you get a hole in the tyre when you're out, you can either use a banknote or even a gel wrapper just to patch that, and that'll get you home. Just don't put so much pressure into the tyre when you do put air into it. So here's a picture of the selection of things I'll carry on a ride. So just on a standard ride, I'll be 2 tubes, multi-tool, a couple of tyre levers, CO2 cartridge and a tyre patch. And that all fits nicely together in a little bottle-shaped container like that, which I'll keep in the seat tube bottle cage on the bike, I'll either recommend have a saddle bag so you can use 2 bottles on the bike, or if you're not doing any big rides or you're going places where there's always a chance to fill up a bottle, I just find it easier to keep this on the in the bottle cage of the bike. Then it can be easily swapped between bikes. And the last thing to remember as far as your repairs on the road goes, whatever you use out on the roads, if you use a tube or you use a CO2 cartridge or anything consumable like that, remember to replace it when you get back. There's nothing worse than forgetting about it when you get home, and then you go out for your next ride and find that you've only got 1 CO2 cartridge left, or even worse, you've got none left, and you have to end up begging or borrowing a tube or a pump off someone. So remember to replace anything that you use. So that's pretty much all you need to carry with you. A lot of people do go overboard carrying spare tires and all kinds of different bits of paraphernalia with them, but this is the basic selection of stuff that's going to get you through 99% of issues when you're out on the road. If you are planning a place-to-place tour, or you're going somewhere where the roads are particularly bad, then it is sensible to maybe carry a tire with you, which can just be zip tied under the saddle or something like that. But like I said, this selection here will get you through 99% of mechanicals. So get yourselves familiar with everything that you carry, know how to use it. Things like a chain tool, it might look complicated, but it isn't really. You can see on various videos on YouTube, or go and ask in a bike shop. All you need to do is know how to break the chain, and if you've got a chain link that you carry with you, they're very easy. They just slot together and that'll connect the chain. So just take half an hour to familiarize yourself with what's in there, and make sure you are prepared next time you go out on the bike.